Hi, Rock Buds, Rock Papa here. Last time we looked at upper mantle rocks, peridotite, serpentinite soapstone, asbestos, etc. This time we're going to look at what's on top of the mantle rocks, and that would be ocean crust, so here we go. As you guys know, rifting creates and enlarges oceans, and that rifting occurs at a mid-ocean ridge. What's a mid-ocean ridge? A mid-ocean ridge is a long line of underwater volcanoes that are erupting megatons of basalt lava. Basalt lava is erupted from these volcanoes and pushes out to the left and the right. Then more basalt lava comes out and pushes the first basalt lava to the left and the right, and that continues on until you have a ocean produced. In the Atlantic Ocean, we have the Atlantic Mid-Ocean Ridge, which has actually created our Atlantic Ocean. And if you want to see what it looks like, you can go to Iceland where it reaches the surface. However, we're not going to Iceland. It's too far to go there and back today. We're going to Papa's Mid-Ocean Ridge. So let's go. Ocean crust is produced at a mid-ocean ridge, and this is Papa's mid-ocean ridge. This is Papa's hunk of ocean crust. Now, it's not exactly what ocean crust looks like. I'll show you that in a graphic a little later on, but these are the actual rock types that are part of ocean crust and that are produced at a mid-ocean ridge. On the very bottom of ocean crust, you have Gabbro. That's that speckly rock on the bottom, Gabbro. Gabbro is made of pyroxene and calcium-rich feldspar. Those dark blobs are pyroxene, and there's also the white blobs are actually calcium-rich feldspar. Notice how the calcium-rich feldspar crystals are linear and patchy. That is very characteristic of calcium-rich feldspar. Above the Gabbro, once the Gabbro erupts out onto the surface, it becomes basalt lava. And that's a piece of basalt. And I'll show you what mid-ocean ridge basalt really looks like in a minute. But basalt is made of the same minerals as Gabbro. It's just that once the Gabbro erupts onto the surface, it cools quickly, and the crystals don't have a chance to form. And so it looks different. Why does Gabbro have big crystals? Because it stays deep underground, and as it cools really slowly, and that gives crystals time to form. Up on top of and mixed in with the basalt, you have our old friend serpentinite. Yes, serpentinite. And I'll tell you more about serpentinite in just a minute. This is how ocean crust really looks after it is ejected out of a mid-ocean ridge volcano. The bottom layer is, of course, Gabbro. The Gabbro is the huge pool of mafic magma that feeds the next layer up. After the ocean crust is formed and it's moved out away from the mid-ocean ridge, it begins to cool. Any of the material that hasn't erupted out on the surface, in other words, Gabbro, begins to cool, and it cools very slowly, forming the bigger crystals. Any of the Gabbro that squirts out onto the underwater surface of the mid-ocean ridge forms these columnar shapes as it cools. A basalt lava dike is formed, and then it moves over, and another one's formed beside it, and it moves over, and another one forms beside it, on and on and on. And this whole group of these basalt dikes are called a sheeted dike complex. These basalt dikes cool pretty fast, but not so fast that they don't spew out blobs of lava onto the ocean floor. These rounded blobs of lava are called pillow basalt. As these underwater volcanoes are erupting, a huge amount of ocean water goes down into them because of the tremendous pressure of the water above. The water penetrates down to the upper mantle where it transforms or facilitates the transformation of peridotite and dunite into serpentinite. This serpentinite rises up and gets mixed up with all this volcanic stuff, and because it's slick and soft, it probably acts as a lubricant for the formation of the sheeted dike complex in the ocean crust. When continents collide, huge hunks of ocean crust get shoved up on land. And if you go to Shenandoah National Park, you can see a big section of sheeted dike complex that's been shoved up on land in the park. And here's a picture of it. The material in these dikes is called Kataken Greenstone. This beautiful rock is all over Shenandoah National Park and represents basalt lava from the sheeted dike complex that's been metamorphosed into this greenstone. And in the process, green minerals like epidote and chlorite have become the end product of metamorphism. The Kataken Greenstone is the metamorphic remains of the rifting process where supercontinent Rodinia was rifted apart between about 750 million and 550 million years ago. Okay, rock buds, that's it for now. This is your Rock Papa saying have a wonderful day and happy rock hunting. Pop out.